Donald and the Breakaways. Donald and Douglas, the Scottish twins, did not mind what job they did. Coaches or trucks, it was all the same to them. Which meant, as often as not, that they pulled trucks, since the big engines all disliked them. "You don't really like them, do you?" James asked in amazement one day. "Och, it's all work," remarked Douglas. "If we didn't do it, some other buddy would." James marvelled. He hated trucks himself, but he had to admit that Donald and Douglas managed to make them behave better than anyone else did. The secret, of course, was that the trucks had not forgotten an incident when Donald had smashed a rude brake van. It had been an accident, really, but no one told the trucks, and they still thought that Donald had done it on purpose. "Keep on the right side of those two," the trucks had said to each other when either of the twins was about. One day, Donald had to take some empty trucks to the other railway and bring back loaded ones. The empties behaved well, and when Donald reached the big station, he was feeling good. "We've got those trucks licked into shape," he congratulated himself. What he didn't realise was that the loaded ones he was about to take back were visitors, and had never been licked into shape by anybody. "What's this?" they screeched when Donald backed onto them. "We want a proper engine, not an old-fashioned steam kettle." They should of course have known better, but then trucks never do. "Old-fashioned?" snorted Donald. "I'll teach you a lesson. Take that!" He gave the trucks a hard bump. The trucks laughed. "He's cross," they whispered. "Let's have some fun." They behaved well for a while, and Donald began to think he had them under control. Like the trucks, he should have known better. By the time that they reached the work station, an axle box on one of the trucks had run hot, and they had to shunt that one off the train. At the next station, the guard had to fasten a brake rod which had slipped on accidentally on purpose. One delay followed another, and Donald became crosser and crosser. "Stupid fangs!" he scolded. But the trucks didn't care. "What does he know about it?" they asked each other. "We're modern. We are not out of date like his sort. Steam kettle, huh?" At the top of Gordon's Hill, Donald stopped so that the brakes could be checked along the train. Unfortunately, he restarted more quickly than he meant to, and the jerk broke an old coupling 10 trucks from the end. Feeling the snatch, Donald's fireman looked back. They were already a little way down the hill, but coming after him and gathering speed on the slope, he saw the last 10 trucks. "We've got to keep ahead of them, Donald," he said. "Quick now, I just hope there's nothing in the platform at Edward's station." "But we're supposed to stop there and leave some of these trucks," objected Donald. "Can't help that," replied his driver. "If those trucks catch us, we'll stop even earlier because they'll knock us off the rails." "What are we waiting for then?" asked Donald, and put on speed. It was touch and go for a while. If the guard's brake had not been holding the breakaway slightly, Donald could have not kept ahead. But he managed it. Just they saw Edward's station in front, whistling loudly. Donald raced towards it, while the trucks followed, screaming with fright. Quickly, the signalman summed up the situation. He set the line ahead as far as he could, and Donald clattered safely by. Then came the trucks, but the signalman saw with relief that they were slowing down. By the time they reached him, with a groan of relief, they stopped. Just beyond the station platform, the signalman sent out an obstruction danger warning and set all his signals to stop. Then he waited. When he sure that the trucks had stopped, Donald stopped too. Half a mile further on. "We shall need permission to go back," the driver told the fireman. "Nip back and clear it with the signalman, please." When he had permission, Donald was able to go back and stop the trucks. He bumped them fiercely. "Now will you behave?" he growled. This time the trucks had scared even themselves. "Yes, we will," they quivered uncertainly. And Donald finished his journey with no more trouble at all.